Hellaby, and this is Daily Music Tips brought to you by Cape Town Music Academy. Today I'm going to talk to you about the importance of appreciating different styles of music. In today, no music is pure anymore. Due to the internet, due to streaming platforms, it's been easier than ever before to listen to music from, across the world, from all corners of the planet, different styles, different approaches. You'll have people playing Latin music in South Africa, and we interpret it completely differently because we're not from there, and that already creates a new genre in itself, technically. And yet we still find so many people who don't listen to other styles of music. Like, I'm only like blues, I only like rock, I only like jazz, I don't like classical music, I don't, whatever it may be. We find as musicians that we segregate ourselves often, and even though the musics that we play are so cross-pollinated, and I feel this is counterproductive to the growth of music in any area, in any city, and also for the growth of each genre. And all of the people that have pioneered various genres have pioneered it by not making up completely new ideas, but by blending pre-existing ideas and putting them together. And the most important thing for me to understand is function. That each music has a function. So you'll find a mellow, smooth jazz album, and its function is background music, maybe. But then you also get certain smooth jazz artists who find that the groove and the way they play fits that genre best, but it's not background music, it's more in your face. You get jazz that is intellectual, and you get jazz that's really, really easy, that you can almost call it pop. Whatever it may be, the approaches to music, each thing has a function. And I think when creating music and when learning music is understand the function of the genre that you're looking at, or the specific piece. So, many musicians love to say, house music or trance music is so repetitive and boring. There's nothing to it. But I think that happens because we misinterpret the function of it. Deep house was never meant to be complicated, because by nature it's experienced in a club. I think that, you work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Come the end of the week, you're still young, you want to go with friends, but you don't want to think, you want to turn off, you want to forget about this job that you potentially don't like, and you just want to have some fun with friends. You don't want to be socially and politically challenged. You want to just have some fun. And I think a great way to experience that is to have music that is repetitive and simple, that lets you trance, lets you zone out. And the best music for that is simple music that allows you to zone out and trance. And the only way to do that really is to let the music just roll and not have too many new ideas, not have too many altered chords or rhythmical challenging 7/4s, whatever it may be. That is counterproductive to the nature of the function of the music. There's intellectual gospel music. There's gospel music with fancy intros and hits, and it's flashy and it's big bangs. But then there's also gospel music which is gentle and also lends itself to the trance. It's, you repeat lines over and over again, and the music is rolling, and it's not fancy, and there isn't fancy technique involved. Not to say the musicians that are playing that type of music don't have good technique, but they are serving a certain function. And to me, it's so important, firstly, to understand the function of something before making a judgment on it. And when you can understand that function, first of all, you can listen to it better. You can also then play it better. There's times when I play house music with DJs, and I know that it's really nice to add some jazzy chords in the songs while I'm playing with the DJ. But there's also times when I just play octave notes with delays and just set atmospheric tones, because that's the function of that song. And it's really, really important to be able to take from each genre that is out there, see what its strengths are, and see how you can implement it. If you're a session musician, you never know where you're going to get booked. And the more versatile you are, the better. And the only way to be versatile is to listen to the music. Many musicians feel that they're technically good enough to be able to play anything, but in reality, if you get called to do, say, a pop gig and you're a jazz musician, you might struggle because you don't have the discipline to be able to play only what's written and or perfectly to the click, or not improvise with too many chromaticisms, whatever it may be. As a pianist, to be really comfortable and content at playing the same inversions, the same chord voicings for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, because that's what's required sometimes. And you can do it, yes, but if you're not enjoying doing it and understanding the purpose of what you're doing, it won't relay, that it won't be as effective to the listener if you're not understanding what you're doing. So you're playing these simple chords and you're bored out of your mind because you think that you're so much better than that, and this is below you. You know, that's going to sound like that. That is what's going to be felt by the audience. But if you can dig into those 4 chords and have a lot of fun with that while the band is playing and the singer's going, or whatever it may be, there'll be a change in the experience of it. And that happens when you understand the function of what you're playing. And ultimately, that will allow you to grow. I did a lot of transcription of various pop songs from like many genres. So deep house, R&B, soul, jazz, some jazz tunes, that, you know, modern jazz stuff. And one of the hardest things that I ever had to transcribe was a house song by a group called Disclosure. And 4 chords, 3 chords actually, for the whole song. But the way that they were able to make that song interesting, through automation, through cutting, through removing frequencies and altering the groove just in the most small way, removing the kick on certain beats, like little nuanced things that transform this song that on the surface seems really, really simple, but when you looked into it, and if you were in that audience listening to that in a club, you could dig so much into that so deeply. But as the musician, if you can hear these things and understand it, the amount of detail that these producers took to shape the song with 3 chords, it was amazing. Having to recreate that was a very big task. And I learned a heap from doing it, trying to replicate each synth, how they build synths, how they change the filters and the EQs of each individual instruments, the fact that there's a difference between removing the kick or just high passing the whole drum set, so the tops of the kick is still there, but the kick hasn't completely gone. You just lost the bottom end of it. Small details that transform the song into this amazingly groovy, beautiful piece of music. And even as musicians of any other genre, if you could dig into that and see what these guys are doing and apply it into your music, it would transform your music too. And I'm a big advocate of digging into other genres for the sake of learning, for the sake of taking, adapting. You never know what you get asked to do, and you never know what fun you could have with something if you haven't really tried it properly. You know, you can say you've played pop and you didn't enjoy it, but did you really go and check it out? Did you really look at the nuances of the groove? Maybe as a keyboard player, there's small ghost notes that's the keyboardist is that's not obvious at the onset. The people that do these things, it's their art, and for us to think that one genre is not as good as the genre that I do is insulting, really, to the people that pursue this as a career and as an art form. And I really encourage everyone to look at all other genres You don't have to go into depth for each one, but find one song that you like of a different genre and just dig into it a bit. I think you'd be really surprised at what you could learn from it. Even as drummers, they love to, jazz drummers love to complain at house grooves, how simple it is. But in reality, it's not that simple. It's not as simple as just, open hi-hat on the offbeats and kick on all 4 and snare on 2 and 4. There's nuances that these good producers that know what they're doing in these genres add and change and flip, and it's really amazing to dig into it if you cared enough. And ultimately, all I'm saying is go and look at other genres. Don't judge it from what other people have said. Don't think that it's below you, even if it seems so from the beginning. It'll really, really transform your playing.